Hello, everybody. This is Lisa Andrus, Psychic Medium, and this is your weekly Oracle card reading. As you can see, this week I felt guided to use two decks, so I'm using the Life Purpose Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, and then the Flower Therapy Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Robert Reeves. I haven't worked a lot with the Flower Therapy deck, but I just felt strongly guided they wanted to do a different kind of reading than I've done before, and I'm just going with the flow. And because I'm doing this for you and for everybody listening to this, myself included, that it applies to us for a reading for the week in some way. So I have pre-drawn the cards, and this is what they guided me to do. It was just funny. I almost felt like the cards were alive and they just told me where they were going. And so here we go. Let's see what we have for the week ahead. The Monday, Tuesday card is from the Life Purpose deck, and it is sensitivity. And it says you're becoming more sensitive and need to make changes accordingly. I've used this deck a lot in the past, so I'm familiar with the overall card meeting, which they're asking me to go to. And when I say they, I mean my guides and angels that are talking through me doing this reading. And I feel like in particular this means to career. So there are some of you that are becoming more and more sensitive to your career environment. Either you're finding that you're in a job that no longer serves you, and you have aspirations to do something else. Like with me, at some point I'm going to transition into doing medium work and being an author full-time, but right now I do still work my day job, and I'm becoming more sensitive to the ups and downs and the energy of that. Sometimes I ask Archangel Michael to come in and clear the space. I know that I'm there for a reason, and they're asking me to tell you that sometimes when I'm in traffic, because I drive about 30 miles to and from work, which is about a half hour to 45 minutes from where I go, and that's one way. And I try to take that time when I'm in the car to just pray and kind of say, God, your will be done, and turn on my bright light and let it shine for others so that it may turn on the bright light that they have in them. It doesn't mean that I don't have moments during the day where I just get frustrated because, there's something I'd rather be doing, which, maybe it's helping others through readings or writing or even just taking time for me. But I asked for this job, or at this time just feel that I still need to be there. And that what I've come to lately, the terms that I've come to lately are, instead of just being frustrated because for whatever reason I decided to stay a little bit longer than I'd planned, because I'd originally planned something different, which was to be self-employed by now, I instead say, I wake up and I say, is it my day to leave today? Meaning leave that other job. And if the answer is no, then I just get up and go to work. And so what they're saying is, a day at a time. If you do have a situation that you are sensitive to, and it is career, and there's something you'd rather be doing, just take it one day at a time. You have to take steps in the directions of your dream, just a little bit as you feel guided. There's not a right or a wrong answer. What they're saying is, if you do feel sensitive enough and you feel strongly guided to just leave that job, do so. But do think before you do that, and make sure that, you have, I don't want to say backup plan, but they're saying backup plan, some sort of savings account or something, until the rest of the things that you want come into play. But they want you to know that you're not imagining it, you're becoming more sensitive to that work environment. They're asking me to also say that some of us are becoming sensitive to chemicals or to foods. I feel like with foods, I'm detoxing just a lot of foods or things that I've been eating, just a little bit at a time, even if it's just trying to eat more organic foods and vegetables, because in America, there's still a lot of GMOs and not organic foods, and I'm noticing I'm just becoming more and more sensitive to that. So they want you to pay attention to the way that you're feeling and just take guided action and know that you're not alone and that the angels are with you, okay? Okay, so for the Tuesday, Wednesday card, this card is Unity, and it's hibiscus. And it says, you're spiritually connected to everyone through God. Use this sacred bond to heal your family, friends, and yourself. Now, this is interesting because it kind of goes to what I was saying with the Monday, Tuesday card when I was saying that some days when I'm on the way to work and a job that I feel like maybe no longer serves me, I pray. I pray for others. I pray for the world. I ask God to use me in whatever way brings me closer to my higher purpose and His. You know, I also ask for comfort and you know, ask for the prayers of my family and ask for the healing of my family. And they're saying that we're all one. We're all a collective energy, and whether you realize you have a life purpose or not, there's no accident that this card landed amongst the life purpose deck. Because part of your life purpose has been achieved just in being here. Okay? And for the weekend, teaching. This is a card that says you inspire young people to learn. Now, for some of us, this means you are a teacher, or if you've been thinking about being a teacher of some kind, this is your sign. I'm hearing that some of you have even been thinking about doing something like starting a daycare or something for young people, and this is a sign that it is time. And yet, some of us are spiritual teachers, and it's time for us to get out there and teach others. I know that I've taught mediums before. I haven't taught them in a while, and it's even for me doing this that, you know, I've been getting the guidance loud and clear lately that it's time to teach mediums again, and it's just about starting to make those plans. You know, for me, an example they're asking me to use is I need to call some places and see where I can hold my classes. I need to make a plan of what I'm going to do, what I'm going to charge, where I'm going to advertise. But that doesn't have to all happen at once. What they're saying is you are qualified. Even if you don't think that you're qualified to teach others, you are holding some knowledge in there that nobody else has. You know, they're asking me to tell you that right now I'm writing my book for indigos, and I know that there's people that anticipate that. And there's times you know, what I did is I made a whole list of subjects that I either get asked about from other indigos in readings, that I've learned myself as an indigo, that my best friend has learned with her indigo child. And there's times when I go about and I'm typing it into a book. It's funny because just like when I wrote Gifted, and honestly, you guys, there's times where I thought, who the heck am I to be writing this? But I felt guided to do it, and I still had moments of absolute fear when I was writing it, thinking, what if my peers think I'm wrong? Or what if people think I'm nuts? But I thought to myself, if I help just one person, that's really what it's all about. When I felt alone because I was opening as a medium and I didn't find a book that had everything that I needed, that's kind of how I wrote Gifted. It's now how I'm writing the Indigo book. And again, with indigos, to me, this is a subject where there's even less information out there. Yep, there are a few books. Part of what guided me to write a book on it is I felt that there's some information that I would have liked to see or that I've learned in some of the readings that I do that I want to compile. Again, when I'm writing this, I think, who am I to be an authority? How am I going to come up with this information? But part of it is to just sit there and plan it or write, and it comes. And I know somehow when I get through all of those subjects that I've kind of said, these are the things I want to talk about, that it hopefully will create that book, or back to the teaching, create that class. So if you think you aren't a qualified spiritual teacher, think again, because there are people out there that need to hear your voice. You know, Louise Hay, I've heard her say something to the effect that we could all be saying the same thing here at Hay House with all the, you know, famous authors and personalities that she has, you know, but what she says is we could be saying the same thing in different ways, and maybe one person won't hear what I'm saying, but maybe they'll hear what Dr. Wayne Dyer is saying. And it may be a similar message, you know. So keep that in mind. I feel like this is some of us that need to be spiritual teachers, to do some kind of teaching, and yet perhaps some of us need to be students as well. But I think this is mostly just for the teachers. And again, they want me to go back to especially if you're thinking of teaching young people, and if you've been thinking of starting a daycare or some sort of program for young people, this is for you, whether it's youth or adults, because most of my spiritual teaching is for adults. There's not a wrong answer. Share the knowledge that you have with others. Remember that you have a purpose, and they know that you're getting more sensitive. But part of your purpose is just in being on earth. Share what you know. Pray for other people. Know that your energy is doing good even if you feel frustrated and don't know what your purpose is. Know that it's serving more of a purpose than you know right now. That things are getting better and your dreams are coming true. Wow, you guys, I have to say this was a really powerful reading that I didn't anticipate. But it all comes out exactly as it should. And it looks to me like it's going to be a great week. And I don't know, did I say at the beginning of this? It's for May 5th to 11th, okay? And happy Mother's Day. And I will talk to you next week.